In a land where the sun never pierces the canopy, where every step sinks into shadow, and every shadow hides a threat. Here, the predator is not always the victor. A silent battle hidden from all eyes between the jaguar, the master assassin of the jungle, and the crocodile, the silent god of the swamp. When both share the same stream, the same prey, the same thirst, who will be the last one standing in this battle without light? Jaguar versus crocodile, the deadliest ambush. Hidden deep within the wild heart of South America, where the muddy red rivers of Brazil, Bolivia, and Paraguay weave through dense labyrinthine jungles, lies one of the most dangerous and mysterious ecosystems on Earth: the flooded plains of the Pantanal and the vast Amazon rainforest. Here, the sun is blocked by the canopy, and water never truly leaves the soil. This is a damp world, thick with the scent of decay, burning hot, where every step makes you feel like you're being watched. This ecosystem is a miniature universe. Howler monkeys echo from the treetops. Tropical birds flash like shards of a rainbow. Sloths hang still, like living statues. In the shadows, caiman crocodiles lurk. Venomous snakes coil in wait. Turtles crawl slowly across the swamp. And tiny frogs carry enough poison to kill a grown man. And among them all, the jaguar, a silent creature. No sound, only fading paw prints on a bed of rotting leaves. In a land where every animal has its own weapon, a battle is only a matter of time. The jaguar, the only big cat of the Americas, wasn't born in this land. Its ancestors once crossed the Central American land bridge millions of years ago. From the ancient grasslands of North America, they journeyed south and never looked back. Over time, it didn't just adapt. It evolved into the apex predator of the rainforest. The native people call it by a sacred name, jaguarete, which means the one who kills with a single bite. Unlike the lions of Africa or the tigers of Asia, in the Amazon, no roar is more terrifying than silence, and no predator instills death in this wild world. In the Amazon, wild boars are no weaklings. They roam in massive herds, surging through the jungle like a wild, unstoppable current. With razor-sharp tusks, thunderous calls, and fierce temperaments, they can kill any young predator foolish enough to slip into their ranks. But the jaguar doesn't hunt for easy prey. It hunts, but right between the eyes, where one strike is enough to shut down the nervous system. The body jolts once, then falls still. No time but. What if, instead of a wild boar, the creature lurking beneath the surface wears armored scales and fights back with a deadly death roll? What happens when the silent assassin meets a monster of the swamp? In the Pantanal, where the swamp opens like a muddy mirror, capybaras gather in herds, quietly grazing. They are large, heavy, yet gentle and slow, with wet, glistening eyes and ears that never rest, twitching, trembling at every sound that ripples across the water. They know, somewhere out there, the jaguar is waiting. To the jaguar, this herd of capybaras is more than just prey. They're a favorite feast. In the jungle, capybaras are just big enough to satisfy a hunger and just slow enough to be caught. They move in herds, dense, clustered, believing there's safety in numbers, but that only makes them stand out in the eyes of a predator. The jaguar seems to have no rival in the jungles of the Amazon and the swamps of the Pantanal. But beneath the black water, there is another creature, an ancient predator, just as silent, just as patient, just as ruthless, waiting just below the surface. With all its strength and cunning, can the jaguar defeat this fearsome enemy? Or this time, will it become the prey, dragged into the mud, trapped in the deadly roll of the swamp? Beneath the surface of the swamp, where light dies beneath a thick mat of weeds, lies a world of monstrous jaws. The caiman, guardian of the swamp, ruler of the waters. The caiman, the grim reaper of the Pantanal swamps, is not a giant like the Nile crocodile. They are smaller, usually around 2 to 3 meters long, and rarely exceed 4. Meanwhile, the Nile crocodile can grow twice as long, 3 times as heavy, and powerful enough to bring down a full-grown buffalo. But it's precisely because of that modest size that the jaguar, with its skull-crushing bite and fearless nature, dares to look it straight in the eye, seeing it not just as a rival, but as a meal. One rules the water, one rules the land. Both are silent. Both kill swiftly and without mercy. And this time, in the black water, who will emerge the victor? With the strongest bite of any big cat, powerful enough to crush a skull, the jaguar doesn't need to drag out the fight. When its opponent is the caiman, the difference in strategy becomes even clearer. The caiman relies on surprise, ambush, and jaw strength to drag prey into the water. But when the predator comes charging from the shore instead, attacking head-on, it becomes passive, vulnerable. The jaguar knows exactly where to strike, just behind the skull, where the bone is thin and easy to pierce. In the Amazon, there is no hesitation, no long stalk in the shadows. Whenever that spotted shadow meets a caiman, it strikes, immediately. No moment of doubt, no step back. This isn't just instinct, it's power. The jaguar knows it is stronger. It knows how to win. And it doesn't need to wait for the caiman to turn its back or to drop its guard. The caiman thrashes, its tail whipping, water exploding all around. But that struggle lasts only for a single, fleeting breath. This is not a fair fight. This is a judgment. And the jaguar is the executioner, whenever it chooses to be. In its world, the crocodile is not a ruler, but a meal, simply waiting for its turn to be claimed. Here, in the black swamps and the shadowed depths of the forest, every creature knows fear. The capybara herds panic at the sight of those spots. The crocodiles flinch at the skull-crushing bite. The wild boars spin in desperate terror. But here, one creature knows no fear. Not of the dark, not of claws, not of teeth. One that dares to lock eyes with the jaguar, that dives headlong at the crocodile, that breaks every rule of the hunt. That creature is the giant otter of the Amazon. The giant otter, warrior of the Amazon, and the largest otter in the world. Up to 1.8 to 2 meters long, weighing nearly 30 to 40 kilograms, with rippling muscles and a body as sleek and flexible as a whip of water. They are both majestic and dangerous. They live in groups of 6 to 20, a true family, where every member is a warrior. The jaguar is a master assassin. It thrives on silence and the fear of others. But the otter pack feels no fear. They line up, hissing, charging forward, defying it even as water still drips from their fur. An old jaguar knows this well. It could kill one otter, but the price would be claws, teeth, and the furious storm of the entire pack. And in this jungle, even death itself must choose its prey wisely.
On this earth, there is a creature that nature has crafted with an instinct that is astonishingly perfect. Not the fastest, not the smartest, but one of the most efficient survival creatures ever known. Make no sound, draw no attention, just a moment, and the whole water moves. Surviving through millions of years, through climate change, the dinosaur era, and even human development. Today, it still silently exists in rivers, swamps, and places that few people pay attention to. That is the crocodile. And this is a journey to explore the mysterious world of this ancient reptile. The Nile River, the cradle of ancient Egyptian civilization, once nurtured mighty empires, great pyramids. And to this day, that river still flows, carrying within it a terrifying secret, a creature that has not changed for more than 200 million years. Do you see it? That log floating there. It's a crocodile. The Nile crocodile is a creature that has remained virtually unchanged since the time of the dinosaurs. Sounds unbelievable, right? It can be more than 5 meters long, weighing almost a ton. An animal that lives underwater almost makes no sound. But when it acts, it all happens in seconds. A single bite, and it's done. Can you guess how strong its bite is? Twice as strong as a lion, even stronger than a great white shark. But what I find most admirable is not its strength, it's its patience. It can lie still for hours, even days, without moving, without eating or drinking, just waiting for the right moment. If it were you, would you be patient enough to see the end of this content? The crocodile is not a fussmaker. It doesn't chase its prey. It lets its prey come close, and when it gets close enough, it finishes it all with a spin underwater. People call it the death spin, but it's actually a survival tactic that has been perfected over millions of years. The lifespan of Nile crocodiles is also a matter of thought. They can live up to 70, even 100 years, silently and persistently, and sometimes stick to the same stretch of river for their entire lives. Each crocodile is a separate individual with its own territory, its own habits, and even its own hunting memories, recorded in the way it moves, observes, and chooses its hiding places. When it comes to the diet of Nile crocodiles, there are two names that always come to mind first: wildebeest and zebra. These are two herbivores that regularly cross the river during their large annual migrations and are also ideal hunting targets for crocodiles. Have you ever wondered why crocodiles choose them instead of other animals? The reason is obvious. They travel in large herds, crossing deep and wide rivers where crocodiles lie in wait. Dozens of crocodiles lurk silently beneath the murky water. They don't need to chase. They just wait. And when a wildebeest steps into the water up to its knees, the opportunity arises. With its clenched jaws and characteristic spin, the crocodile not only drags its prey into the water, but also disrupts the herd behind it. In the chaos, a few more zebras fall into the trap. So, what do you think? Is this cruel behavior? Or is it simply the survival instinct of an ancient carnivore? We often see crocodiles as a part of nature that is cold, ancient, and separate from human life. But in reality, not so. In many parts of Africa, Nile crocodiles and humans live very close to each other, just a water's edge apart. Do you know how many people are estimated to die from this species of crocodile each year? Not just a few cases. According to international statistics, between 200 and 500 people die each year from attacks by Nile crocodiles. That is the highest number of all living crocodile species on Earth. Many of these cases are never recorded. There are no reports, no witnesses, just a person who does not return from fetching water or fishing. Imagine, every morning when you go to the river, you not only bring a bucket of water, but also risk your life. So, are the crocodiles to blame? Or are we gradually encroaching on the territory of wild creatures who only know how to live by instinct? The Nile crocodile, the ruler of African waters, is a symbol of ancient power. But it is not the only creature to hold that position. On the other side of the world, amid the tangled jungles and brown rivers of the Amazon, another creature performs the same role, quietly, patiently, and just as dangerously. The Amazonian black caiman is the largest crocodile in South America, the apex predator in the rainforest ecosystem. Like the Nile crocodile, it doesn't chase, it doesn't show off, it just hides and waits. Unlike the sunny and windy Nile and the dry and scorched grass, the world of the Amazon crocodile, or rather, the black caiman, is a completely different place. Wet, dark, and eerily quiet. This is a predator that does not like light. It lives at night, hiding in the darkest swamps of the Amazon forest. The black crocodile is the largest crocodile in South America, reaching lengths of over 5 meters and weighing close to 500 kilograms. In size, it rivals the Nile crocodile. But the difference lies in its habitat and the way it adapts. Can you imagine? In a world where everything moves silently, where every sound is drowned out by the dense forest canopy, how does a predator detect prey without seeing it? Unlike the Nile crocodile, which often ambushes herds of antelope and zebra crossing the river in the turbulent waters, the Amazonian black crocodile chooses a different path, more secretive, more scattered, but no less dangerous. Hiding in the dense darkness of the Amazon swamp, this crocodile specializes in hunting solitary prey, creatures without a herd to warn, without night vision to protect. One of its most common prey is the South American warthog, a small animal that lives in loose herds, often wading down to the water's edge to find food. The black crocodile waits for them to step in. Just one wrong step is enough to drag them under and disappear within seconds. Waterfowl such as storks, herons, and wood duck. When night falls on the Amazon, all sounds seem to fade into darkness. Birds stop singing. Wind stops blowing. The Amazon black crocodile is a creature of the night. It hardly hunts during the day, not because it is weak, but because at night it exerts all its advantages. Its light-reflecting eyes, sensitive hearing, and ability to swim without creating waves all make it a ghost under the water. Have you ever tried to imagine when all creatures are resting? There is something moving silently in the swamp, making no sound, leaving no trace. Although it can take down large prey such as wild boars, capybaras, and even pythons, the Amazon crocodile's favorite food is still fish. No need to take risks, no need to confront. Just lie still on the edge of the swamp where the fish gather to feed in the dark. With a slight flick of its tail, the crocodile can disrupt the school of fish, then use its sharp teeth to catch each one. Sometimes, it even uses its own body movements to herd the fish into a shallow corner, then attack like an ancient fisherman without tools. Have you ever thought that such a large reptile could patiently stalk small fish? But in its world, hunting is not always a fierce attack. Sometimes, just a quick bite in the dark is enough to fill the stomach all night. Our video ends here. If you find the crocodile's journey through the world, from the sun-scorched rivers of Africa to the dark swamps of the Amazon, an interesting slice of nature, then you are not alone. Because in every bite, every spin, every motionless wait, the crocodile not only demonstrates its power, but also tells an ancient story of survival, adaptation, and instinct. Thank you for accompanying us until the very end. Which crocodile do you think truly dominates nature? The Nile crocodile, the ambusher of the light, or the Amazon crocodile, the ghost of the night? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next journeys, when nature still has countless mysteries waiting to be revealed.